Welcome to Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 95, recorded on August 3rd, 2022. Today, Tyler and I will be discussing this morning's Pokemon Presents presentation, which revealed more information about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, this morning we had to wake up kind of early to watch a Pokemon Presents. I think they should stop making it this early.
I don't know what time it is in like Japan and or other places around the world. Maybe it's a reasonable time.
Quick Google search gives me 9 a.m. Eastern Time is 10 p.m. Tokyo time. So that's still pretty late for a presentation.
But I guess before we get to Scarlet and Violet, we have to bring up the atrocity that is the lack of Pokemon Sleep news. The most hype game of the future, Pokemon Sleep, hasn't got any news since its initial announcement. And I think that's worth complaining about. We don't even know what it is. What is Pokemon Sleep, huh?
Is that like clock thing that goes next to your bed?
We don't know, because they haven't said anything about it. They said, Pokemon Sleep will come out eventually, and they haven't given us any news. Any news since then. And
I would be
livid.
surprised if they just don't show it to the Western audience. It's not really a thing that the Western audience would buy anyway.
I just think it's very strange. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just canceled it. If it was like a quick, like we don't actually want to make this. So they just start sweeping it under the rug.
I mean, they published the, what was that, like, teeth brushing game, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if they released that or not. I'm pretty sure they did. Honestly, Sleep is not out of the picture.
And I guess there are some other newses that we just simply don't really care about, but if you're a Pokemon Go fan, or a Pokemon Unite fan, or a Pokemon Cafe Remix fan, or Pokemon Masters EX fan, then we're not covering it, sorry, but stuff happened in your game.
The only thing I have to say is having Pokemon Go Championship is super weird because the battling in that game is literally just tapping the screen.
Tap, 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 tap.
So I don't know how that could work.
I guess getting the Pokemon is maybe like strategic, but then the battling itself is just tapping and mashing, which I think is very funny. No one cares about. What they do care about is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which we got a trailer for, and then a subsequent explaining what happened in the trailer, which I think this time was pretty necessary.
I think my initial reaction to that trailer was like the initial sweeping shots of the landscape looked very empty. But then they started showing more of the landscape, and I'm like, okay, you've built land. Good.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta fill that land, and it still doesn't look filled.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Legends Arceus, in which even like the geometry of just the like non-town areas looks very rough and kind of like put together in 2 hours. And that's not great, but they also like changed their lighting engine so it doesn't look stupid and ugly like Legends Arceus, and it's crazy how much that works to the game's benefit.
Yeah, and it's good that they kind of showed off there's more of a variety in the landscapes. Yeah. Like, oh, there's a hill or maybe a mountain it's a spiral mountain that goes all the way to the top. Okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then there's a forest this way, there's more land this way, and there's some verticality to it, which is one thing that I really liked in the first DLC for Sword and Shield. They actually had some verticality on that island.
Yeah, I can. That is nice. I think I don't know. Legends Arceus had a problem with mostly how it looked. I think the way the Pokemon were dispersed, while they popped in really hard and the render distance wasn't very good, it still I don't think was horrible. And I think if this game is essentially just the same thing, that is fine and works for me. It would be kind of nice to see bigger groups of Pokemon doing like real animal stuff and not just walking in their set like circle for you to catch them in, but I feel like that's too much of a ask for this point.
Yeah, Pokemon seems to be going in like they're taking steps forward, but only in certain parts. Like in Legends Arceus, the step forward was the slightly open world and kind of the overworld design.
Mhm.
And then in this game, it seems to be stepping forward again into the open world to make it completely open world, which I like, but I wish they could take multiple steps forward in each game.
Yeah, I think that's always how Pokemon's done it, where each console, it's like each game is one step forward, and then you get to the end, and it's like, oh, finally, a completed good Pokemon game.
Yeah, and what we're 9 generations in, and they're kind of behind on the modern
Oh,
status quo.
I think they've always been. It's just handheld gave them like a more leeway.
That's true. Well, I think Generation 5 was the perfect
It
like middle
was
ground.
it was a peak. I think Gen 5 is the best they can possibly do with the DS hardware, but I'm pretty sure the game came out at like the same time as the 3DS.
Oof,
And
yeah.
it was like, oh, okay. Why don't you just put it on that one? But I don't know. The games are good, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Uh Speaking about complaining,
Specifically the trailer and how it was edited and the voiceover over top of it. I kind of
yeah.
find it funny that the first thing we see in the trailer is the voice acting is not in the game. Please don't say it is.
We did it this once. Please don't expect it at all.
Yeah, and
Just-
all the text on screen and whatever the voice actor said sounded very literal. Like I'm pretty sure they translated the Japanese version over and it was not good. The guy had to say like full sentences when it was like nothing on screen. And even in the explanation trailer, they I think they literally translated those as well because they were full sentences on screen when you could just sum it up in like 2 words. Like they said, instead of new Pokemon, they said new Pokemon in the whatever region. What was it called?
uh, I don't remember.
Have it here somewhere. Where is it? Pa- Palladian. Anyways,
um, quickly find it. Which one? Yeah, Plata, I think, or something like
yeah.
that. Oh well. Um, yeah, I
Anyways,
do
yeah, it
kind of
wasn't a great trailer.
agree. Not only does it sound like directly translated, the fact that they are essentially teasing you with voice acting is such a weird choice.
Yeah, and
But
the trailer didn't really get me hype either. I think they should really look into like cinematic trailer companies because I
yeah,
think if we get a really hype Pokemon trailer, that could change like the course of the hype to the game.
yeah, I don't know. I always just get hyped for Pokemon when when it's like just a very literal explanation of everything, and I'm like, oh, ooh, ha.
Yeah. At the same time, I like kind of going in the trailers and seeing stuff in the background that maybe other people won't see. But
Yeah. I guess people are probably like, okay, but what's actually in the trailer? So, in this trailer, we get a look at a couple new Pokemon, or actually, I think only one or maybe two of the new Pokemon show up in the actual trailer, and then they just like shadow drop a third one in the explanation.
yeah,
But in the trailer, we see a mysterious, weird brown Wooper and some big white Pokemon. Later, they will explain that this is a Palladian Wooper and a Sit
Set
Citate.
Setatan?
I think it's like
Setatan?
Citatan or something.
Yeah. Anyways, that
It's hard to
Pokemon looks
pronounce.
like they just I don't know. Doesn't look
I
that
think it
great.
needs another color.
Yeah.
It's weird that it's all white, but I don't know. It's not a horrible design. The arms are a little weird, but I don't really care that much. And also, they decided to show off the fact that Pokemon turn into crystals and get weird crowns, which they later explain is
A new
what's
gimmick.
The new gimmick, terrestrializing, which seems like, if I had to guess, a like temporary mega evolution that changes the Pokemon's type,
Yeah,
which
that's essentially exactly what it is.
while it is cool, I think it's a fine thing that they can do. It still feels like everything since Z moves has been or everything since Mega Evolution has been a cop out, where they
Yeah.
need to do something, but they don't want to put the work in to designing a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, like Z-Moves was literally just just move the model differently and have a bunch of particle effects.
Z
What was the
moves
one after that?
sometimes, like this character specific Z moves, was a fun little animation. And at least with Gigantamax, we got some new looking forms. So far, it looks like this is exclusively just crystal effect put over the Pokemon model, and we won't be getting unique ones,
Yeah,
which is strange to say the least. But I've never really cared that much about the gimmick since Mega Evolution anyway, so it won't really start now.
yeah, and with this new terrestrial type or new terrestrial gimmick, you can get like rarer types, and you can change the Pokemon type. And
Yeah,
with that, the raid battles return, which I actually enjoyed, and I think we
I think
mentioned in our review of Pokemon Legends Arceus that we wanted that back. So that's good.
I am happy. I liked the raid battles in the game, and it seems like now it's not turn based, which is also nice because they were pretty slow before, where I
Yeah,
feel like they need to be more higher energy, and hopefully that means that that's all good. And just like the trailer, we did forget about Fido, the dog with the like doe dog.
yeah, that's
Um,
a perfect name, perfect design.
yeah, he's a very cute guy. I hope he evolves. Who knows? And I guess I think the thing I've been like itching to say the most is just visually, the game is so weird. It looks like the trainer models, it looks like they've gone for a new style of trainer model for like everyone, which I
Yeah,
kind of like. And the lighting is better than Legends Arceus because it isn't just a spotlight essentially shining on everyone. It's a little more nuanced, but it has like just a weird, almost like clay effect. It makes everything look just kind of squishy,
yeah,
and it's not flattering on a lot of the more jagged building models. It's infinitely better than what Legends Arceus has, but I am hopefully they either touch up some models or the lighting a little bit more, because it would suck if like modern Pokemon is like it's fine, but it's just ugly. Like that, I don't want that to be the consensus of
yeah.
Switch Pokemon.
It does all kind of look a little bit clay-like, and then also when you see the buildings that are like metallic, like I think the main building is metallic, and then some of the Pokemon like Skizor, he's metallic as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Like, and it kind of throws the entire screen off because that's the only
true.
metallic thing on screen. Even the Pokeballs aren't really that metallic.
Yeah. I think I've always kind of thought of Pokeballs as like plastic anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe the bottoms are metal. I don't really
but
know.
you also mentioned like the characters, and I want to mention that the character design specifically actually look really good.
I am
Um,
enjoying that.
yeah,
I don't think Pokemon has ever really flopped that hard on character design, especially recently. I think like the worst character designs in Pokemon are from the first three generations, and then then they realize like they finally fit into the style, and they haven't really had much of a flop since.
yeah, and I like that they're really exploring in this one. Like your homeroom teacher, what was his name? Jacques.
Yeah,
He has his bright purple hair, square
Mhm.
glasses. He looks like a fun guy.
The
um,
gym leader with like the scarf, and then there's the other gym leader that has like a big mustache and a pink suit on, I think.
yeah, yeah. They're really leaning to the anime art style, but keeping the art style consistent, which I really like.
I'm very happy with. Honestly, if the game, this is a big ask, if the game looked better, it would look really good, which is a weird thing to say, but I think everything is there for a really good looking Pokemon game. Like the design of everything is, I think, pretty good, but it's just the world itself and the lighting a little bit just are a little bit weird, and I feel like if they don't fix it here, the next Pokemon game will be the one that finally looks good
Yeah.
instead of bad, and this one's looking passable.
Well, luckily, the next Pokemon game, let's just say it's 2 to 3 years out. We could have a new Switch by then.
That's true, but I don't really think that really changes much, if I'm being honest. I don't see the Pokemon games being that difficult to run, but maybe I'm dumb and wrong. Uh, and excitingly, we have the open world is finally talked about a little bit, and
Mhm.
apparently there will be 3 different storylines spread out for you to do on your own leisure. They didn't talk about the other two, but the main one they talked about was gyms, which
That's a
what?
given.
Gyms in a Pokemon game? Didn't expect that one. But I mean, it's cool that you can take on the gyms at your own pace, and you can there there isn't a specific order. So that is what I was hoping for when we first talked about it.
Yeah, and we're
And I have to
still
imagine,
generally concerned about how that's going to work, but we already explored why we're concerned in another podcast episode.
yeah. Um, and I guess if I had to guess, the other 3 storylines, obviously one of them will probably be the evil team,
Yeah.
and the third one, I have like no idea what that could even remotely be. Like legendaries, probably. Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the legendaries
Legendaries,
could
probably.
make sense, but it sounds like you get the legendaries almost at the beginning with Koraidon and Miraidon. Because it looked like you
Maybe
just
have like
started
another
off with them
form.
almost.
It could be
Yeah.
like it could be like at the end of the game they kind of reveal themselves as like their true form or whatever, and that's the equivalent of the legendary event in the game.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I do not know.
Yeah. And the other storyline is probably the evil team. Only because when they were explaining it, they showed off, I don't know, this like big truck with a bunch of speakers on it. I don't know what that was. Um, and the star logo was like plastered everywhere while they were talking about it. So I have to assume that might be the evil team.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I just hope we get an
Uh,
actual evil team and not just like a joke gang.
yeah. They haven't really had a good evil team since Gen 7, so I'm hoping they can actually do it this time and not give us Team Yell again, which is by far, I think, the evil Pokemon team. Even like the evil sisters in Legends Arceus, well, barely in the game, at least do something.
Yeah. What else is there?
Uh, and
Is
I
it
guess
multiplayer?
almost finally, there's multiplayer, but almost finally there is probably the thing I was legitimately most excited for is the Pokedex that they showed off seems to be like looking like a bookshelf where each book has a little screenshot of the Pokemon doing their thing in their Pokemon, like their dex entry is I'm assuming on that same card. And that is very cute and maybe will make me want to complete the Pokedex, but I don't think I ever really want to do that because it's tedious. But who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe if the pictures are cute enough, I'll have to do it.
I finished the Pokedex in Sword and Shield. It was a pretty good experience, other than the version exclusive that was stupid.
That they've always done that. It's the most annoying thing ever. I hate dealing with version exclusives, especially when especially when the games are like $20 more, so you can't realistically buy both versions because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, we should probably talk about multiplayer because that's like the third biggest thing outside of the stories and the new Pokemon.
Well, they technically didn't really show much in the multiplayer. They just said, "Oh, yep, multiplayer exists. We confirmed it. You can play with 4 people," and that's it.
And I think it's probably just honestly, I like that it doesn't seem to be like a gimmick thing. Instead, it's, yeah, you can just play the game, but with people.
Like,
And I think that I think I like that better than just it's multiplayer, but only in this specific section, and you can't really interact with people, but they're around.
yeah, I'm somewhat worried about like how they're gonna how they're gonna do it logistically. If it's 4 people running around, can you only be this close to maybe the host or something? I feel like they're gonna
Oh,
do something like that because if the world is
yeah.
massive and there's no loading screens in between, then they could theoretically go anywhere. So
Hmm.
what's the benefit in having 4 people? And
Yeah.
like if somebody goes into a battle, and can I run around the person having the battle? Like almost in Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe. I don't actually know. I don't know how they'll do it logistically. It's a good question
and
because it feels like there's too much you can do while not really doing anything together.
yeah, and if you go to somebody else's world and you find a Pokeball on the ground, do you get that item, or does another person get that item, or does the
Just like
host
the
get
item
that
just
item, or do you both get that
stay
item?
on. It might
So
just, yeah, like does it stay on the ground and then everyone can pick it up?
yeah,
Yeah, I
and then
I
that's
don't
just
know.
duplicating items. There you go. And you
I
probably
mean,
can't go
yeah,
to
that's
certain
true.
places because it has to go with the plot of the story, which you can't keep going with 4 people, I assume. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see the cracks might start showing in the future.
yeah. The only
But
way we'll know is when we get gameplay. So
yeah, I'm so far though, like overall, the reveal itself was I felt like a little low energy, but everything that we got, I'm relatively happy with. Mostly talking about the Pokemon designs because again, trying my best to not actually spoil myself this time and go into a Pokemon game blind for the first time in like 18 years. And yeah, so I'm at every new Pokemon is like a new experience and not, oh yeah, I know that one exists.
yeah, I just hope they don't show a lot.
I'm happy that they're
I
not
just don't
showing a
know what
lot.
it
It
will.
seems like I'm pretty sure since I think they showed like a lot in Gen 7 and people got upset. So like, okay, we'll just barely show anything. And it seems like some people are getting upset because it's like the game's only 2 months away. The game's only 2 months away. Why don't you show us literally anything? But I don't know. The Pokemon games are guaranteed to sell like crazy. So why not just make it a surprise for when you're going in? I think the
Yeah,
only The only thing you want from a Pokemon reveal is starter evolutions, just so you can make an informed choice.
yeah, and I'm sure we'll get some information drip feed on their Twitter.
They're gonna shadow drop the starter evolutions just like 2 days before the game releases.
Well, I think that's what they did last time, or they showed like the final evolutions the day the game came out or something.
It was close, but I don't think it was that close.
Thank you for joining us and discussing this morning's Pokemon Presents presentation, which revealed more information about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We'd love it if you could follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our community Discord server to continue today's discussion. And we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks podcast.